So you're looking to buy a camera to produce high quality vlogs, but with so many different options out there, it's tough to know which ones are worth your money. Well, to make this decision easier, I rounded up 5 of the best vlogging cameras so you can confidently choose the one that fits your needs and budget so you can start making videos today.
You gotta just press record.
Welcome back to Think Media, Nate here. When it comes to the best vlogging camera, there is no one size fits all. It really depends on your style of vlogging. That's why I've broken this video down into 5 sections, each covering the best camera for a specific need. So to start off, let's talk about the best beginner vlogging camera. So if you're new to vlogging, chances are you're looking for a camera that's really easy to use but still delivers high quality video. And the camera that I would recommend for someone who is starting out is a compact point and shoot camera. Our favorite point and shoot camera for vlogging here at Think Media is the Sony ZV-1 Mark II. These types of cameras are just so easy to use. You literally just flip this open, it automatically turns on, I can just press record and I'm ready to start vlogging. But not only that, the image quality is really impressive for such a small camera. It's able to shoot 4K video up to 30 frames per second, has really great looking colors, and it even gives you enough shallow depth of field to give you a little bit of a blurry background. One thing that makes the Sony ZV-1 Mark II such an easy camera to shoot with is its great autofocus performance. So anytime that you're in front of the camera, you know you're going to be nice and in focus. If you go further or closer to the camera, they even have this mode called product showcase mode. And if you enable that, if you hold something in front of the camera, it will know to focus on that rather than your face. So just super great features if you are vlogging, content creation, great feature to have. Now, as the name suggests, the Sony ZV-1 Mark II is an improved version of the ZV-1, and one of those changes they made is actually with this built-in lens. So this has a focal length range of 18 to 50 millimeters. So when at 18 millimeters, this is going to give you a wider shot, which is really good if you are vlogging yourself. You get more of your scene and your environment. Another improvement they made over the original ZV-1 is the audio quality. So this camera has a built-in microphone right up top here, and they even throw in a little wind muff that you can just kind of slot onto the top. So if you're outdoors moving this camera around, I'd recommend throwing this on so you have nice protected audio. And here is an audio test of what the built-in microphones sound like on the ZV-1 Mark II. I think this is good in a pinch if you are just vlogging, trying to get some sort of sound. It's not too bad. Plus that little wind muff that goes on top helps protect it against wind noise or if you're really moving your camera around. So super great for that. You're always gonna get better audio if you plug in an external microphone thanks to that 3.5 millimeter mic input. So let's switch over to a wireless microphone. And now I'm using the DJI mic mini plugged into the ZV-1 Mark II, and with a little transmitter here just clipped on magnetically to my jacket. I have great sound, and the benefit with a wireless mic is no matter how far away I am from the camera, I'm still gonna get good sound quality. And one of those convenient features that I wish more cameras had is a built-in ND filter. ND filters are kind of like sunglasses for your camera to help control your exposure, and this camera has one built in, so you can just enable it. So if you're outdoors and it's really bright, you can use this to kind of control and get the settings where you want them to. So I absolutely love having that feature built in. It means that I can take this out and not have to worry about grabbing extra filters. Overall, this is a fantastic camera, but there are a few reasons you possibly might want to avoid this camera. The first limitation is with its recording format. So for example, you can't shoot 4K 60 or any other high frame rates in 4K. Now you can record at higher frame rates if you step down to the 1080p resolution. However, you are going to lose some image quality. This camera also does not have 10-bit video. You're limited to 8-bit video. This simply means that if you plan on really color grading your images to get a cinematic look, or even simple things like adjusting exposure, it's going to be a little bit more challenging on this camera. The second limitation is that there's no stabilization in this camera, and with a camera that is this lightweight, you're going to pick up on more of those jitters because it is just so easy to move. Now there is a digital stabilization mode which you can turn on, and that's going to help kind of counteract some of those shakes. Although a digital stabilization means it's going to crop into your footage. So if you're still trying to get those wide angle shots, you're gonna kind of be limited because it's going to be zoomed into your face a bit. Another reason why you might want to avoid this camera is the limitations of this lens. Sony did something a little bit strange with this new lens. When you zoom into 50 millimeters, the image is actually gonna get much darker. In fact, you can only adjust your aperture to f4, which is significantly darker than the wide end of f1.8. However, if you are someone who is just mainly vlogging, filming themselves, and you're at that wider angle focal length, I don't think that really is too much of an issue for you. So you really just have to ask yourself, what are your needs as a vlogger? If you're looking for something really simple and easy to use, and it's so lightweight too that you can basically take this camera anywhere with you, vlog whenever, and never feel like you're getting tired. Price point for the ZV-1 Mark II costs $798, and if you're someone who wants a very simple, beginner-friendly camera, something that's going to deliver better image quality than your phone, but doesn't want the hassle of interchangeable lenses or anything like that, then the ZV-1 Mark II would be the camera for you. But if you're someone who does a lot of travel and perhaps you're filming, walking and talking, showing off your environment, and you really want a stable image, then this next camera would be my best pick for travel, and that is the Osmo Pocket 3. This camera is wildly popular for many different reasons, and it's all basically due to its built-in gimbal design. This has some of the smoothest image quality you can find on the market. Because the gimbal is going to help reduce those shakes and jitters, you just get really professional results. And such a small design too. Look at this. It's just a really compact camera that's easy to take with you for travel. Now, something that's pretty important if you are vlogging is the field of view, and the Osmo Pocket 3 does a great job getting you a nice wide angle look, but they even sell a wide angle adapter you can just snap on with magnets to the front, and you get an even wider shot. When we take a look at the image quality, this camera is fantastic. I love the look out of this camera. The colors look really vibrant and very sharp. And despite it being really small, the Osmo Pocket 3 has a pretty large sensor, which is going to help in low light performance. And you can even spot a little bit of a blurry background when you are filming yourself, which adds a nice touch. It kind of helps separate you from the background. One of my favorite features that DJI implements with their Osmo cameras is the ability to connect with some of their wireless microphones. So for example, you can connect a DJI Mic Mini to the Pocket 3 and have this little microphone just clipped onto you, turn it on, and you're ready to go. You have great audio that goes straight into the camera, no editing required. So great little feature. These things only cost like $59 too, so a great thing to pick up with the kit. With the Pocket 3, you could also pick up the Creator Combo for a little bit more, and that allows a few extra accessories like a battery extension grip, the DJI Mic 2 transmitter, which is fantastic, and that wide angle lens that you can clip onto the front. And in terms of battery life, it's pretty great on this camera. You can get about 3 hours of shooting 4K video. You also have the ability to recharge it through the USB-C or the extension grip. So pretty much you can be vlogging throughout your day without needing to really worry about it too much. Now, I do want to touch on a few potential reasons why you might want to avoid the DJI Pocket 3. First off, you are limited to this one focal length. Yes, you do have that little magnetic adapter, but really there's not that much framing options to choose from. It's not like the ZV-1 where you can zoom in and get tight shots. You're basically always at a wide field of view. The next reason is that because there are physical motors on this gimbal to help stabilize it, you really do want to protect this gimbal, and it's a little bit more delicate of a camera. So when I turn off this camera, it always goes back into the case to make sure it's nice and protected. That being said, I did mount this camera to my car and I didn't really rig it all that proper. And when I took a turn in my car, this camera came flying off, hit the road, and it made some of these scuffs, as you can see right here. The camera held up. It actually went into a gimbal protection lock mode. So DJI has definitely thought of that and has ways to protect your camera even if accidents happen. But generally, you just want to make sure this camera is nice and protected and is stored proper. I'll also mention that this camera does require a little bit of a learning curve. Some of the other cameras on this list is very intuitive, but Because this camera is so unique, you do need to take the time to learn it and understand the different gimbal modes to get the best image quality out of it. Price point for the DJI Pocket 3 costs $520, or if you decide to get the Creator Combo Pack, it costs $669. And for that price point, if you're looking for a camera that delivers cinematic, ultra smooth footage, the DJI Pocket 3 is such a fantastic choice for vlogging. If your vlogs involve a lot of adventure, outdoor travel, or you find yourself in a lot of unpredictable conditions, then I would recommend checking out an action camera. And specifically the DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro. This camera is such a rugged, tiny little camera that in many ways, I think a lot of people could definitely use in their kit. So I made a few different videos on the Action 5 Pro already, but just to kind of summarize some of my favorite features about this Action 5 Pro, let's run down the list, starting off with its ease of use. So I can literally just hold down this record button and it turns on, press record, and I'm off shooting my video. Out of all these cameras, this is by far the quickest and easiest just to get ready, press record. Perfect if you are filming, maybe this camera is on your chest, you just want to grab a quick shot of something cool happening, and then I press it, record again, turns off, super cool. Another feature I love is its stabilization. So this camera is fantastic at giving you almost gimbal-like shots with this camera. There's even this feature called horizon balancing, and it's going to keep your horizon nice and level, even if you happen to have your camera at an odd angle. It's going to make sure your video is nice and level, which is so easy and just makes filming yourself just less concerning that you got the shot. And talking about the field of view, the Action 5 Pro probably has the widest image out of the bunch, and there's actually a few different modes to kind of scale it down if you don't want to go super wide. I really like the standard D warp mode, which is going to help kind of remove some of those distortions with a wider lens. And in terms of battery life, the Action 5 Pro has amazing battery life of up to 4 hours, which is just crazy that you can get that much battery life on this little camera. Pretty much to shoot the entire day. But not only that, if you get the Adventure Combo, it comes with this battery charging case, which is so cool because you can charge up to 3 batteries and even have room for SD cards. So having this on hand, you literally just can swap your battery and you're good to go. And that is definitely a feature I like with this camera because that means I really never have to worry about battery life. And some reasons why you might want to avoid this camera is action cameras typically don't do well in low light, and the Action 5 Pro, does some software things to it, try to enhance low light performance, but still it's not fantastic. You're best using this camera in outdoor bright environments to get the best result. This camera also doesn't have autofocus, it's a fixed focus system, so you can't really get too close up if you're trying to get really close up on objects. But if you're holding up at a distance, vlogging with it, you're gonna be nice and in focus for that. The Action 5 Pro is the cheapest on this list at $350, or if you want to get the Adventure Combo, that'll come at a price point of $450. And I think if you're someone who's out there in the rugged environments, not knowing what situation you're gonna be thrown in, this camera is waterproof, it's rugged, it's going to be built for those different environments wherever you throw it into. However, when we're talking about vlogging, often the best camera is the one that you have with you, and the camera that most people have on them is their phone, and this is the iPhone 16 Pro, and this perhaps could be a great option if you are looking to level up your vlogs, but have something that's still easy to use, but also delivers a little bit better image quality. And the image quality you can get out of your phone is super impressive. And I think with a few key accessories, you could totally make this a complete vlogging all-in-one setup. But let's talk about a few key benefits of using the iPhone 16 Pro if you decide to vlog with it. Number one, as you'll notice, that phones have multiple cameras nowadays. So you get multiple focal lengths. You have a great main camera, 24 millimeters. You have an ultra wide at 13 millimeters, which is actually pretty wide and get a lot in your environment, and even a telephoto lens at 120 millimeter. That's going to allow you to get really close up on objects, and all three of these lenses combined really make it a nice, versatile filmmaking package. In terms of the image quality, the iPhone 16 Pro has some amazing features that really speaks to the image quality. Not only can you shoot great 4K video using the native camera app, but you can even go more manual controls and unlock things like ProRes log recording. If you really want to fine tune and color grade your videos, I've been really impressed with the log video on the iPhone. Now it will drain your storage if you're shooting in ProRes, but you do have the benefit of recording to an external SSD through the USB-C, which is awesome. So this is what the iPhone's microphone sounds like, and honestly, it sounds pretty decent. Most phone microphones sound pretty good, but the great thing about shooting with a smartphone is you can get a ton of different accessories from microphones that can plug into the USB-C just to get even better audio. Prices for the iPhone 16 Pro start at $1,000 and go up from there depending on your storage size. So definitely not the cheapest option, but if you already have a phone that is a few years old now, just learning to use it more effectively can be a great way to start your vlogging content. And by far, if you're looking for the easiest setup and you can literally vlog at any time as long as you have your phone on you, then using your phone is a great option. But what if you're looking for the absolute best image quality that delivers truly professional results? Then I recommend checking out a full frame mirrorless camera. A full frame camera has a very large sensor, and with that you get a lot of great benefits when it comes to shooting video quality, such as a shallow depth of field, great low light performance, and just a stunning look when it comes to video quality. And the full frame camera that I recommend if you are shooting vlogs is the Sony ZV-E1, which is actually the camera that I'm shooting on right now. There are several different reasons why the ZV-E1 is such a fantastic vlogging camera, but to quickly run through, in terms of the image quality, we get a 4K 120 frames per second video. We can shoot 10 bits, so this is perfect for color grading. I also mentioned that the full frame sensor lets in a lot of light into your camera, and with the ZV-E1, you have great low light performance. You can shoot up to ISO 12,800 and have a really clean look. This camera also has what's called in-body image stabilization, or IBIS, and this is such a great feature if you're vlogging and hand-holding. You're gonna get a lot of shakes if you don't have something to stabilize it, and this will stabilize the sensor to kind of counteract all those shakes. And it's not as good as the DJI Pocket 3, obviously, but definitely useful if you are doing a lot of handheld video. And when we talk about the field of view of the Sony ZV-E1, because this is a mirrorless camera, we can actually swap out different lenses depending on our use case. So from one moment, I can have a zoom lens if I need that versatility, or I can swap it out for a really ultra wide angle lens like this 16mm. And this one made by Viltrox is perfect if you are vlogging. It's definitely a heavier setup compared to all the rest of these, but if you want the best image quality, go big or go home. In terms of the audio quality, the built-in microphones on the ZV-E1 sound okay, they're fairly decent, but if you want the best audio quality, you have the ability to plug in a microphone through that microphone input. But not only that, you also have the ability to connect a microphone system through the multi-interface hot shoe. So for this recording, I have my XLR K3M adapter to connect an XLR microphone, and that's how I'm able to get such good audio straight into the camera. So as you can tell, I really like the Sony ZV-E1, but I do want to talk about some of the limitations with this camera. Number one is its price point. This is very expensive compared to some of the other options. Brand new, this camera costs $2,200. Second, this camera is larger and heavier compared to some of the other options, and if you are handheld vlogging, your arm's gonna get pretty tired after a while. And not only that, it's kind of harder to take with you if you are traveling. You do definitely need to bring a camera bag, especially if you are planning to swap out lenses. And third, this camera will require some camera knowledge. So if you're not too skilled on how to use a camera, well, there's definitely a learning curve with it. But part of that is how you're gonna get better image quality. If you leave your camera in automatic mode, you're not gonna get the best image quality. If you really learn how to master your camera, you can make any of these cameras look good. Overall, I think if you're looking for the camera that delivers the best results, the best image quality, best low light performance, then the ZV-E1 is definitely the camera for you. So out of these 5 different categories, hopefully you found a camera that is right for you, or perhaps there are multiple cameras on this list that you might enjoy. So let me know in the comments down below which is your pick and why. And if you are on a budget and only have $300 to spend on a camera, then check out this video right here where I break down 5 different options.